you want to retire early, ditch the VIP mentality. I'll let you in on a secret. I've noticed a distinct difference between the happy retirees I work with today and the people I worked with during my time as Vice President of Investments at a very well-known Wall Street investment firm. Without naming names, let's call the firm a global financial juggernaut. Interestingly, many clients of the firm had a VIP mentality. They yearned for celebrity treatment. They had money, but many of them weren't at peace with it. This is different for the families I work with today at my fee-only RIA, Registered Investment Advisor firm. They are just as wealthy, but don't demand extra special treatment. They're more like the inconspicuous millionaires Thomas J. Stanley talks about in The Millionaire Next Door. They live in the suburbs of Atlanta, where the houses are between $200,000 and $500,000. They don't live in Buckhead, where the houses are $800,000 to $3 million. Think back to Nick and Katie Benjamin and how they took this similar track in order to build an early course toward financial freedom. For these people, financial planning is less about being a millionaire, or what Stanley would call a PAW, prodigious accumulator of wealth. They march to a different tune, a tune that says, I've got enough money to be pretty damn comfortable and do what I want to do. If a happy retiree wants to play golf every day, she can. She doesn't necessarily belong to an ultra-high-end country club that costs $100,000 to join, but she does belong to the affinity group of golf, where she pays a really low monthly fee that allows her to play more than 15 courses across the state of Georgia. Sure, they aren't private clubs with golden mermaids spouting rose-scented water, but they offer a solid consortium of well-maintained courses. Needless to say, these non-VIP happy retirees really started to catch my eye. Their money provided them with a vehicle to drive toward the things they really wanted to do. As individuals or couples left my office, I'd noticed they seemed satisfied with their positions in life. By and large, they were having the time of their lives. Here are some examples. Mark and Candace love their RV and have hit about half of the states in the United States. They plan on RVing through the rest, including Alaska and Hawaii. Emily and Henry love to travel, but have never been to Asia. They are planning a trip there this year. Susan and Peter love to watch their granddaughter Brianna, who is in 2nd grade. Brianna's dad and mom both work, but fortunately for the entire family, Susan and Peter are ultra-active grandparents. Barney and Dottie are in their early to mid-60s and are athletically active. They make it a point each and every day to either go for a walk, take a bike ride, play a round of golf, or play tennis. All in all, these retirees are simply a much happier group, maybe because they're happier living in the middle. That doesn't mean they skimp on luxuries. After all, Barney and Dottie go to a nice steakhouse at least once a week, and Emily and Henry love Korean barbecue. But it does mean they know how to put those luxuries in perspective. They're also not interested in keeping up with the Joneses, because they understand the plateau effect. After a certain degree of wealth, happiness comes in diminishing returns. Stop using health insurance coverage as an excuse not to retire early. Now, I know what you're thinking. All of this retire early talk sounds great, Wes, and so far most of what I'm hearing makes sense. But what about the biggest wild card of all? When are you going to talk about health care? First, let's clarify our terms. For our purposes, when we talk about health care, we're actually talking about health insurance. If I retire at 58 or 63, Medicare at age 65 is a long way off. I can't tell you how many clients and radio listeners have come to me and said, "Look, Wes, I'd love to retire early, but I just can't give up the health insurance I get through work." To which I say, wake up and smell the new world. The landscape of health insurance for early retirees has completely changed with the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. It's a game changer in many ways. Historically, health insurance has been a major obstacle in the path of early retirement. Traditionally, Americans have had to wait